Peace and blessings, family. Sister Ajali, are you doing good? I pray you are, as that is your melanin nature. So go on over to 25,000yearcycle.org, where we assist you with understanding the specific dynamics of us as Black people, which Western medical industry, pharmaceuticals, they don't do that whatsoever. As a matter of fact, their products tend to operate on destroying melanin, so you're not getting that electrical fluidity throughout your body, literally, so that everything works seamlessly together. At 25,000yearcycle.org, we have what foods you can eat, what foods you can't eat, and I am a witness and a beneficiary of that guidance, because there were certain things that I was eating that I had no idea were impeding my full strength. But as soon as I eliminated them, like things like kale, who knew kale was goiterogenic? I didn't know that. This is information that Dr. Shi and the brothers that he works with, they study relentlessly. And it works, because I've been able to achieve feats that years back I would be stymied and wonder why I need to get over that hurdle. So now I can. But moving on from that, this is a different type of swirling story where nobody died, so I don't have to, and understandably, I don't mind. It ain't no sweat to be respectful when a terrible tragedy has happened, such as when I was talking about Chianti Means and her suicide murder of herself and her 2 children. That is just simply proper. It's a horrible outcome to what looked like a life of believing the devil. And I don't mean that in that she was the out and out Satanist. I just mean, Western civilization and the people thereby. But this is about a swirler by the name of Robert Griffin. I have, yeah, that's his name. I see it up there on my computer screen. And this time around, Black women got it right that his children are not Black. And I'm sure there are plenty of swirling Black women who love to focus on Black men as a justification for their own lunacy, when it just is applicable to their situation also. And I'll go into that. Hopefully I'll make this shorter than a whole hour long, definitely. But he said, Black women telling my 4 daughters that they aren't Black is beyond wrong. No, they're telling you. From what I read on his account, whatever platform it's on, he would often speak of how he has 4 Black girls at home. And they're biracials. It's a thoroughly different category in terms of how it strengthens Black us and how it weakens Black us. Definitely, biracials do not strengthen us overall. As a whole population, they don't strengthen us, because the overwhelming majority, they ain't marrying anybody even as brown skin as this dude. And I gotta speak on this cowboy hat thing. It's just a pattern I notice when I see Black men wearing cowboy hats. They are usually Becky-fied to the hilt, and with the pink friggin' suit on, and it's like, where's the flood, dude? With the high waters, we used to oh my goodness, we would just take people down over high waters. But you got a lot of homosexuals designing the clothes so that they could get a little tantalization out of seeing these tight little 5-year-old pants on grown men. Because I don't know, I'm just saying that whole like idea that they can adopt children is really, really scary. And so this dude is absolutely ineffectual in understanding or speaking on any black consideration, happenstance going on, because he is up in them white thighs every single night. That's like the last poet. He is going to make every single apologetic excuse for whatever Becky's people do. He's got to eat with her, live with her, go visit her family. And dude wearing a pink suit ain't about to have the capacity to understand the larger context of what these people are doing to us. So definitely his daughters can't, and Becky ain't about to tell him a daggone thing. They were formed in a womb that has a whole different frequency than a black woman's womb. The eggs, they were in their mother's ovaries from the moment she was born. So they were getting all kinds of lessons that just imprinted the output that they would become, and folks who have lots of babies, that's what, keep on having them babies, can see you can same mother, same father, and children will come out with thoroughly different personalities. Even with twins, you'll have that, where the twins, especially if they're unique, differentiation is encouraged, you'll see different personalities in even twins. And so there's a certain energy that's coming in that's not just nature or not just nurture, it's nature, where it's already there at the outset. And then you could see the differences between black us overall and white them overall. And anybody who thinks that they could disagree with that, go get your pink suit. So there's an insistence that if the father, whatever the father is, that's what the children are. If the father is out of his mind, sorry, I hope the best for his children, because the children didn't do anything to deserve what the theft of their melanin, right? If he had been with a black woman, and then whatever energy he has would have come out with an intensified honesty to him not being out of his daggone mind. So before I even get to the outcome of this, just drizzling away your black existence because you're so mindless, you think of it as an accessory, and with the pink suit, oh my. I just want to also address this gender warring that's now being forced into, or not being forced, it's being blasted out in white media publications that we have no power to offer any rebuttal whatsoever. As a black woman, if you were to go to this, I found in an article on Daily Mail, if you were to go and try to put a comment that was truthful, a defense of us, meaning no ill towards anybody whatsoever, you're not allowed. That's it. Like our brother, our beloved warrior ancestor Malcolm X said, the media that they own will turn the victim into the perpetrator and the perpetrator into the victim. And that's what they're doing with this, I said they attached it to Kamala Harris, and that's one of the reasons why they're so freaking upset, because they wanted to attach all of their deviancy using Kamala Harris to black us, black men, black women, whatever. And so they're just like, well, we could get the gender war out of this thing. So they're making it seem like all black women were support. Oh, I saw videos of Becky up there saying, oh, we white women, we're upset on behalf of black women. listen, you don't prove that at all. If anything, like when black women were being raped by police officers, it was crickets from white women. Crickets. But all of a sudden you care about Kamala, who is just like all hugged up on these trans sutured folks, and they still have beards, so she would have been pushing that Obama agenda down our throats to make it seem like that's us. We are the origin of wokery. No, that's the corporations. That's the satanic elites up top, right? And so that is also him. Just they I'm sure somebody told them, oh, now you should complain about it. Like he didn't come across these kind of comments on the regular where black women were like, stop it, your daughters are not black. And all of a sudden, right after Kamala had an epic loss, he's got to mention it. No, this is a setup. It's a setup to make us to make it seem like there's no sisters out there like me. Because I did try to leave a comment on this, and it was just woo. I think they actually let it post because they know I got a channel. They know about my channel. All right, but it got shadow banned. They got their own shadow banning methods on Daily Mail, and I'm sure on all the media. Right? They want black people to think that the gender war is real. That's why they got Cynthia G back on up in here. I don't know if she talked about this or not, but even if she did, I went for 1 second to see her content. Black men are this, black men are that, bam, 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 bam. Right? They probably just had to, I'm speculating whether she was put back into the programming center in order to get her to go away from the, you should just abort that black male fetus because they're all so criminal, right? There were certain things she was saying was so ridiculous that they probably were like, well, we could make you seem as if you just, you thought better about what you were saying, or you were forced to tame your rhetoric, okay? So don't believe the hype. Now let's see the outcome. I had posted this meme before where when I saw this photo of Charles Barkley just standing there, I mean, he looks like the butler. He's leaning over like, oh, thank you, master. Thank you. Thank you so much for taking my a little bit too brown daughter. I am sure when this dude looks in the mirror, he sees a white man. He wants this. And this is the extermination of all of us. If we conclude that that chick sitting there so giddy that she is removing the blanqueamiento stain, according to them, of her blackness, and she ain't black, right? She's not on our side. This dude, look at this. This is ridiculous. Grandson is looking at grandpa like, who the hell is this dude? Please don't tell me that I come from that, right? This is the story that happens. This is when the seed is out of its mind. Out of his mind. Look at this. This is actually the biological mother of this woman. Yeah, she all swirled up. And she gave birth to a super pale baby. This is how Dr. Yakub managed to just separate all of that out so that he could manage to create a people so ornery, it would teach us you got to stay with the one and only, all right? Because he understands the science of melanin and what it is about, and he used it to make creation. You can't use anything that's happening up in there to make anything but chaos. I'm just saying, they're white people doing the best with what they have, right? But look at this little girl. She is pushing her mother away. That is not coinky dinky. Same as it was in here where they captured the little boy looking at, who the hell is that? When a child is familiar and has a warm affection for any family member, they don't look at their own like that, right? They don't push mommy away because they are ravenous for mommy's affection. So this is going to all fit in here because Megan, we know she ain't black. right? We don't see none of her black family members. I don't give a damn if she has fights with her white family members. I'm like, what you do with your black family? Okay? So I found it very interesting. These little red poppy flower emblems is supposed to be Remembrance Day over in the UK. And so I looked up because I was like, what is it with these poppies? And I'm very grateful to this person who posted on Reddit in the Our Asian Identity site, not wearing the poppy. I'm not going to go over this whole thing, but I was like, I'm not Asian. And so to see that what the poppy is about is gore, blood and gore and destroying Asia. They're traumatized to this day. Each and every single Asian country, when I look at what they do and how they're doing it, I'm like, these dudes, whoa, I don't want to make any jokes about, phallic things and all the rest of it, but I'm just saying, emotionally, spiritually, they have been hacked up. I'm just saying. And so that's what the poppy is, because there was a British soldier who saw these people didn't want to be subjugated, the native people, right? And so British soldiers who white people don't love white people, they were getting slaughtered. And this guy who was, I think he was a surgeon, he was on the battlefield, and he just was like, oh my goodness. He was right next to a poppy field, and he saw that, and he said, if those flowers could keep blooming, he wrote a whole thing, Flanders, something or other, whatever, then we have got to keep fighting. And so they use that to rally around, because, poppy flowers and opium and all the rest of it. I'm thinking there's a whole nother aspect to it that I haven't verified, but that's the opium wars. This was supposed to be attributed to World War I, but I'm just saying, when you see these people walking around with these daggone poppies, they know what it's about. They ain't stupid. They're evil, but they ain't stupid. And so I noticed they have to have a black woman up in here, in the inset right there. They had to take a picture of her, just like they needed Megan to conduct a far more subtle slaughter. And Megan, who's always like they're ripping her to shreds, and good for her. Good for her, because she's a full contributor. That's my point. She ain't black. She's about our destruction. It reminds me when she went to Africa the first time, and she was wearing an eye of Hamas, which, that is such an evil symbol. It means all the hell and trauma you've caused to whomever, that little eye can keep their wish for your ill will deflected off of you. They got so many little ways that they just, post their meanings, which reminds me of this one. These dudes are in trouble. They're in trouble. I say, and I repeat it, even though I'm not going to talk about man-made radiation for this one. When you kill oceans, you lose, because there's so much data to prove everything that I've said about the man-made radiation. Is pitiful. Pitiful. They can't hide that. They can't put that cork back in the bottle. And with the losing of Kamala, that says that many of us love being black and know a fraud when we see one. We aren't ready to accept Rachel Dolezal Indian style ever. I don't care what countries you're coming from. If you ain't black, we gonna let you know. And it's not just the black women, it's the black men too. Don't fall for that Cynthia G rope-a-dope stuff, okay? And so, Hawaii gripped by saga. A frightened white baby goat trapped on high cliff ledge. No, somebody put that little goat up there. And it could have just been anybody. I don't know. I would just say, because how in the world did the goat get on up in there? And it's on a ledge, and it's a saga. They've been going all over that squirrel thing. And then there was another story about a little white girl with her goat. And this and every show that I watch, if it's not directly, you know, just like dark and just that gives off a vibe that's all wrong. And those are the shows I click off of right away. And I mean on Netflix, but I'm watching this Japanese because there's no new Korean dramas. They have one where it's these Korean women running a sex shop, and I'm like, I'll never even watch it. I'll never even look at 1 second of it. But so I was watching this thing called Love Village, and it's Japanese. And in this little, they put this village together, and people are supposed to get together, and it's not, the wonderful thing I like about it is it's not filthy. That's why I watch them, because it's still a tradition of appropriate behavior. And white people know there's also that with them and with the whole world. It's just that they have us, that they are terrified of who we are, of the nature of our melanin, of the Most High choosing us. I ain't choose us, I'm just saying it is what it is. And they're scared to death. They have this lucid nightmaring that they're going through. They got Marina Abramovic all over the place trying to, oh, it's okay, this is a good thing, it's wonderful, Trump is a magician, and all the rest of the magician, really. And so in this show, for some reason, they got to have a baby goat. Here it is. It's like every single show, they got to highlight the goat like 5-6 times. And notice the stars. Oh my goodness. Why you got to put the stars there? They will have shows where there's, you know, stars, and they'll definitively have one that's upside down. I was watching a show, I'm going like that at my chest because it was, one of the characters had tattoos. It was a show where I was like, no, this is all about really just loathsome people. So I clicked off quick, but he had a star going upside down, right centered. And I was like, whoa. And then of course Simone Biles, who's now walking around naked, off the gym mat. Yeah, she was all, the goats all over, and I saw she was at a dinner with her family members, all black women, and on the table they had a bunch of stars just sitting on the table, painted or whatever, or little stickers, and one strategic one was upside down. And that was the white one, and it was center, and then, you know, was saying, it's all this stuff. These people are so freaking controlling. I'm just saying. They'll have you walking around in a friggin' like tutu or whatever soon enough. If you can think that this is okay, that's just because you've been beguiled to think that this is okay. And no, it's not. It never will be. They're all about the oppression. So no, they're not black. And they're trying to make it seem like we're racist for saying that, when white people know they would never call them girls white. But for some reason, they're just automatically supposed to be black. Anybody with like 1/16th coming from us, we're the trash can people of the world? No, not when we say sorry, but this lid is closed to all haters. Yo, dude, stop lying to your children. We are being hounded. This is a war on such a covert, insidious level. It stupefies the imagination that any group of people can be collectively evil like these people are. I know you ain't that damn dumb that you can't see what's going on. So don't lie to your children and leave it to us. If you're supposed to be so pro-black, but you're going to shove this lie that your children are just as black as the rest of us out here, when that is not, just data-wise, at all the truth. You're going to lie to them so that they get hurt constantly. Ain't no other race of people expected to just accept those who are half this, half that, 1/4 that, 1/3 that. except for black us. And it's for a reason, because they infiltrate us with their loyalty that they deserve. Can't take that away from them, their love of what they call themselves. They infiltrate black us to destroy our right to be. Stop it. So, Black Pride, oh my goodness, you have got so much to be joyous about. It's a wonder that they ever convinced us of anything else. And that's why for them, they're like, we're in trouble. They're not believing us anymore with the goat on the ledge, okay? Because when you kill oceans, you lose, okay? All right. Whew, straight Black Pride, and we own everything. I love your family. Peace and blessings.